Hi, I'm Lisa K. Donner, along with Graham Noble, Sarah Calgill, James Fight, and Jeff Charles. And this is the Conservative Five, Liberty Nation's online TV news program. Right now, Disney World in Orlando is about the dullest place on earth as ticket holders amble about the park wondering aloud if they missed the closed sign at the hotel or while riding the monorail. Magic Kingdom is pretty darn empty, which appears to signal that a corporate wokeness backlash has begun. Sarah, you wrote a very popular article on Disney this past week for Liberty Nation that had tongues wagging. What is your assessment of the situation?
There's a lot of things going on with Disney. Obviously, the corporate wokeness has become a thorn in their side. The argument, the fight, the flat-out fight, and Disney getting involved in the parental, gosh, I wish I remember the name of this legislation. I'm sorry, but it became the Don't Say Gay. The LGBTQ activists went nuts on this, and they said, oh, can't say gay anymore because the governor is doing this and that. And then Disney picked that up and made a big statement on it. So one, I think you've got political problems. You know, people do not like to listen to musicians or watch actors who have a political stance. They want them to do what they're paid to do. Disney is paid to entertain people and to provide a nice, safe environment for families. What they haven't done is they haven't provided a nice environment for families because it's way too much money. And on the other hand, you've also got schools starting back up. So it's kind of like the perfect storm. Disney is probably a ghost town right now. And a lot of it is the money, and a lot of it is the corporate wokeness and the fight, the spats between the governor and the people. And you've got Newsom coming in from California. You've got the New York mayor, Eric Adams, coming in, and they're just picking and they're ticking people off as they do it. So Jeff, a lot of people are just saying don't support them.
Okay, so Jeff, I'm wondering why the corporations feel like they have to go woke. Is there something in everybody's charter?
You know, I think part of it is that some of these people are true believers. They're woke and they agree with a lot of this stuff. I think a lot of it is because, but I think the other part of it is that progressives are in charge of a lot of the institutions. They're very, very loud. They're fringe, but they are loud. So a lot of these companies are afraid of getting canceled, or they think that it's going to preserve their revenue as long as they can stay in the good graces of the woke Sanhedrin. So I think I think a lot of that is what's going on. Now, there are some corporations that are starting to push back, and I'm hoping to see more of that. But then this is going to create a more siloed atmosphere where you're going to do business with the company based on what their politics are, or vice versa. So it's a really troubling trend, but I think the only way this gets reversed is if they're too afraid of pissing off people who aren't woke.
All right, but Graham, there's the business of Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and the guy from Starbucks. I mean, more and more we're starting to see the CEOs are like not down with the cause.
Yeah, well, I think following on from what Jeff said, and it's a very good question to ask oneself is, are these corporations woke because they believe it's genuinely good for business, or are they woke because they're scared of getting canceled, or are they just fanatical? And I believe that in most cases within these corporations, actually, there's not too many people who are fanatically behind this whole trans rights ideology and all the rest of this stuff. I just don't believe that. The reason why they're afraid of being, one would have thought it would be counterintuitive to go woke when you're a big, massive corporation with a huge customer base, because chances are the vast majority of your customers are not interested in the whole woke ideology thing. But the problem is, it's not so much that the fanatics are controlling the corporations, it's the fanatics are controlling the crazy people who will cancel you are in the powerful institutions of the entertainment industry and particularly of the media. And so therefore, that's why these corporations go woke, because they're frightened of the media and the entertainment industry ganging up on them and exerting that influence they have in order to cancel you.
Graham, you brought up an interesting point. I always wondered, places like Nordstrom, you're saying they're really large organizations. Exactly. Do only liberals shop there or do conservatives shop there? I mean, I always thought, aren't they cutting off their nose to spite their face? Do conservatives not spend money?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think they are. They're doing that, but it's because they are afraid, because the media in this country is so overwhelmingly controlled by the political left, and the media exerts this enormous influence. And I think it's that really, more than anything else, is driving these companies to, they're basically being intimidated into going with this wokeism, even though they surely know that the majority of their customers are not interested in that. But I think the pushback really is being customer driven. I think what's happening, this is happening to Disney, and it's happened to a lot of other corporations, that they've started to realize that their business really is being negatively affected, because more and more people are actually willing to say, no, I'm not doing business with this company.
What, Sarah?
I don't think wokeism is what's killing Disney. Disney is an $81 billion enterprise. A family of four, I could not afford this. I can guarantee you that. Family of four, once you're at Disney, not getting there, not plane tickets, not driving, not whatever. Once you're there, a family of four is going to spend $7,500 on food and hotel and park passes.
Yeah, but you know what, Sarah? This is not new. Disney has always been expensive. Their cruises are expensive.
But it just keeps getting more expensive. This economy can't handle that. And our economy and inflation is killing that right now. I don't think you can pin this all on wokeness. And the other thing is right now going on at Disney is that travel is down, school's back in session. So you don't have one specific thing that is killing Disney. I don't think it's wokeness. I think it's a part of it. And I just think it's going to ramp up again.
All right, Jim, you just wrote a story for Liberty Nation today, and Graham brought this up about the media. Even the media is starting to try to come back to center. Don't you see that?
Yeah, well, and I mean, I get what Sarah's saying, but I kind of got to disagree a little bit. We tend to think of voting as something you do with a ballot box. But people vote with their dollars and they vote with their feet too. And I get it. I get the exorbitant price of Disney. I had no idea what it cost to go to Disney, so I looked it up. If I were to have all expenses paid except for getting in the gates, it would cost me about $600 to walk onto the premise with my family for a single day.
If you lived in Orlando, right?
Right. And if I didn't have to pay for parking, if I didn't have to pay for food or anything, if it was just the tickets, to actually have a one-day pass, to stand in line, to spend 3/4 of my day like you do at any theme park, standing in line or walking around, $600. So yeah, that is
Smart Water is $5. A Coke is $5. It's
right. That is prohibitively expensive for the vast majority of people in this country. But and that is getting worse. But that has pretty much always been the case. What's different now is Disney World used to be one of those things that was like, maybe someday we'll save up for it. Now, Disney World is, the company Disney is a company that I don't even want to give my money to, regardless of what they give me in return.
Right.
And I mean, look, you can only vilify and alienate people so much before even the most forgiving of us and most practical are finally going to say, you know what, I don't care how much I want the product or how little I care about the politics. I'm done with them.
Yeah, exactly.
People were having issues with Disney's programming for a while before this whole feud with Ron DeSantis. I think that's
always had issues with
pushed a lot of people over the edge. I do agree that there are multiple factors contributing to this. Of course, it's never just one thing. But I mean, I think people, when they went against Ron DeSantis, and even a lot of Democrats agreed with the Parental Rights and Education Act, I think that's hurting them. I really do.
But I do want to take a moment to appreciate a term Jeff used earlier that I've seen it before in his articles on libertynation.com, but I haven't heard or seen it in a while. I'm just going to repeat it. Woke Sanhedrin.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Showing
That
up.
is what they are. It's a religion. Wokeism is a religion, and they
Yeah.
have a Sanhedrin that is responsible for meting out punishment for not adhering to their orthodoxy.
Well, conservative families may well boycott Disney. We will find out in the future. Thanks so much, panel. That's it for our Conservative 5 panel today. Check out our other C5 shows and segments on your favorite video platform. YouTube, Vimeo, Rumble, we're on them all. As well, Liberty Nation has its own Roku channel where you can see all of our TV productions. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, surf on over to libertynation.com. Join us in the member zone, just $17.76 for the year. Thanks to our fantastic editor and post coordinator, Frank Diorio, and our executive producer, Sarah Calgill. I'm Lisa K. Donner, editor-in-chief. Thanks for joining us today. This has been a production of libertynation.com, where truth is making a comeback.